Visual Classrooms is a cloud-based discussion and collaboration platform designed to help instructors implement active learning pedagogies. And the two big concepts we focus on are student interaction and active instruction. We want to expose students to their peers' ideas, have them work in small teams, and capture complex ideas using any multimedia method. Instructors need tools to support the active learning pedagogy. Visual Classrooms helps you lead more effective in-class discussions and assess student understanding. Originally developed at a top research lab, we now support active learning classrooms worldwide. So let's see how it works in a college biology class. Students come to class, the teacher gave a 10-minute mini lecture on funnel plots, and says, alright, break into groups of 3 or 4 and go to Visual Classrooms. One student in the group logs in and goes to today's activity. This screen allows students to create their small groups. So today I'm logged in as Greg, and my small group I'm sitting with Ilya and Janet. Makes it that easy to log in, and all 3 of us will now get credit for everything we do. So here's today's activity, weighing conflicting evidence. Each one of these boxes down here is what we call a prompt. And so the teacher will come in, give a little mini lecture, stop, say, okay, do the first prompt, review student answers, mini lecture, alright, go to the second prompt, and work throughout the class like that. So let's jump into the first one, smoking, is it bad for you? So this is a discussion prompt. At the top here, the instructor has uploaded 2 funnel plots with the instructions, look in your small groups, interpret the plots, and post your ideas into Visual Classroom. So our group talks it over, comes up with an answer, clicks new idea. The most basic way students can get information into Visual Classrooms is to type it in. So right here, here's the results of our little discussion. And now you'll see here when we go ahead and hit submit, our idea, along with the ideas of other groups, appear down here in what we call the collaboration space. In the collaboration space, students can reply to other groups' ideas, tag other groups' ideas, and as you'll notice down here at the bottom, this is very, very real time. So as other groups are posting ideas, I can come in here, click show, and other groups' ideas appear in real time. This real-time sharing has 2 huge benefits. First, it increases the quality of student work. Look, we know that the rest of the class was going to see our answer, so we put more effort into our discussion and produced a better result. And 2 is it keeps students on task longer. Instead of sitting here waiting for class to restart, we now have access to these other groups' ideas. So it primes us for that discussion we're about to have with that larger class. Look, these guys said a bigger end is always better. We know that's patently false. I want to raise my hand and talk about that. So let's go back to that teacher. He or she has been walking around the room, interacting with the groups while they discuss their ideas. But now it's time to have that large group discussion. So they come up here, maybe they left this sitting on the front of the board, and it tells us, look, we've got these 7 new ideas here. The teacher clicks show, and there we go. All of the groups and their ideas have been posted to the collaboration space. So we have several tools for leading discussions for teachers. So maybe while the teacher was walking around, Dorothy and Lori said something interesting. I can click this little drop down here, and I can highlight their idea. Dorothy, Lori, you said something interesting about Exhibit B. Could you expand upon that? As well, we can sort of automate this. So this one is somewhat text heavy. So as the teacher, one of the things I know I wanted to talk about was the law of large numbers. So I come up here to our search box, I type in law, it automatically filters out all posts that didn't use the term law, and now I can see here, Betty and Holly used the law of large numbers. Greg, your group talked about law of large numbers. Could you expand upon that? We even automate some of that text analysis. So right here beside that filter box, click the text analyzer. The default view is a word cloud. The legend here is at the bottom, so the more common words are bigger and lighter. I really like this vocabulary list right here beside it. So if I go to the vocabulary list, here's all of the exact words students were using, how many times it was used, and I can come in here again. The other topic I wanted to talk about was risk. So let's click on risk. It's filtered out all of the groups that didn't talk about risk. Hey, Chris, your group, you guys talked about risk. Could you expand upon that? Let's move on to the second prompt, where we'll look at how students attach rich media. So this is a very similar problem. Look at the funnel plot, try to determine the underlying problem with it. So with this time we click new idea, we're going to look at all the different ways over here on the left that students can attach media. So they can upload any file size or type. We're going to demo our Sketchpad next. Here we're going to have to look at how to do a snapshot, a video, and a screen capture right in the browser. So we'll click on snapshot, and here's what the team thinks that the graph should have looked like if the missing studies were included. So super easy, all HTML5, hit take the picture, click attach to post, and it's that simple for students to sketch something out on a piece of paper, attach it to their new idea, and we'll put our text in here, unpublished results is the culprit, and then go ahead and submit our idea. And just like before, once we submit our idea, we get our idea in the collaboration space, but now as well we get to see the results of other groups. So we can see another group had a very similar thing here where they sketched out the results. Very easy to click on it. And the other thing to notice in this one, the teacher has actually set the results to be anonymous. So these posts don't actually have any names. That's one option as well. Scrolling back up, you can also do a video right in the browser. So if we click New Idea, do the Video tab. Hello, there I am recording everyone. Easy enough to record yourself, record your experiment, whatever you need. Previews it right there. Go ahead and hit attach to post. That's simple. Now we've added a video to our post. When we submit it, scroll down, it's thumbnailed, it's right in there where you can play it, watch it. The last one we'll look at here is how to do a screen capture. So say we're working in a simulation, we come over here, we take a screen capture. So all I did was do the Control-Alt print screen there. Come back to Visual Classrooms, I do New Idea, and it's this bottom one, this copy and paste. So now I have an image on my clipboard, I paste it in there, I hit save, and it's that easy. So now we take something like a simulation that maybe you do individually, and now we can easily share those results in Visual Classrooms. So let's go back up to the session overview. If you'll remember, we did the first prompt, the teacher had a mini lecture. We did the second prompt, the teacher led a mini lecture. Now we're gonna jump into this you draw it prompt. The workflow here is we want the student groups to create their own funnel plot, share it with the class, and then analyze each other's plots to find the underlying bias. So we go up here, click New Idea, we go to our Sketchpad. The instructor has set a sketch background for the student groups to draw on top of. So we come in here in our small teams, and we decide that we're going to model a publication bias, so lots of good things about increasing risk, but no samples about decreasing risk. This works on any browser using any device, so phones, tablets, you name it, doesn't matter. And if you think about STEM classes where students are supposed to draw a lot of graphs, make a lot of predictions, you can even type on top of here. So very, very flexible in how we let students capture ideas and draw on top of different sketches. So let's clear that out. We'll save it to our post. We save it to our post. We see that we've attached our sketch here. And now you'll see once we submit our idea, there's our sketch, and we get to see the sketch of other groups. And so now the idea is that students working in our small groups, we can come in here, click on this, respond to it, and say, that is a hypothesis error. And so now we've really facilitated that process of creating something, sharing it with the class, and then reviewing the work of other students. And as you can see here, very real time, as new ideas are coming in, I just click show, and it's that simple. The final prompt in this activity was a multiple choice question, which some teachers use to measure understanding, and others simply use as a way of taking attendance for the day. So you can set whether students can see the answer or not. Here's the show results. This is the screen that the teacher can put up at the board, and the numbers will change, and the bars will move up and down as students are answering in real time. So let's see how the instructor grades this. If we go to our analytics and grading page, here's all the students in my class, and here's all the things we track about them. So how many did they do a multiple choice? How many posts? How many responses? How many characters? Did they attach a file? And so we can go up here and start to build our rubrics. We say, look, today we're giving out A's, B's, and a 5. These could be anything. Doesn't have to be numbers, letters, whatever you want. And we had a multiple choice. I don't even care if you got it right. Did you answer it? You couldn't possibly have done this activity without having 4 total posts. And if we remember in that one, we specifically said we wanted you to respond. So 4 posts, 1 response, and an answer multiple choice is an A, and we're giving out 13 of those. Maybe 2 posts is a B, and we're giving out 2 of those, and everyone else gets a 5, and we're not giving out any of those. So we can scroll down here and see 2 things. So one, here's the rubric grade. So Calvin must have had 6 posts, we answered the multiple choice and a response. So the rubric says Calvin is getting an A. And if you want, then each student has a notebook. So for this activity, the teacher can click on Calvin's notebook. Here's everything that Calvin did for this activity. Well, that looks great. He certainly gets his A. And so that's how we handle grading. We do a lot of the counting for you to measure participation. And then if you, the instructor, want to go in and see an individual student's work, you can do that as well.